What the heck?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, we're here this time.
That was funny.
Yeah. Oh, what a
Heck was
day,
that?
folks. All right. I'm running on 3 cylinders and I got 6. It has been a wild day, folks. I'm John Zidar. Taylor is here. She will not be here next week. She's already told me that. So I don't know. I'm probably going to be the only guy here next week. So if you come for Taylor, take a vacation, but I'll be here nonetheless. I have been over in Penny Boys this last couple of weeks, folks. We trade over there on the free members page, and I am one of the guys that is in that free members page helping everybody. We're finding hot charts. We are bringing up the charts. We're finding supports and resistances, entries, exits, and well, it's not just me and one person. It's me and a lot of people. So there is a lot going on over there, and I have been a part of it all day, and I am, wow, I feel like I've had 10 cups of coffee and I've only had 6. But we didn't get as many stocks today. We like to look at hot penny stocks that you, the viewers, bring us. I go over the information. Taylor does the charts. You get our opinions. Well, first off, we've only got 2 today. That doesn't mean that's all we're going to cover. I'm just saying we only got 2 in the front door. Guess we're going to go through whatever gets dropped. But please, please, folks, the name of my show is On Top and Hot. Over there at Penny Boys this week, we've covered, I don't know, 15, 20 penny stocks. Runners, we've been making money over there, taking them as they run before they fall. We're getting those gains. We're taking those probable moves. Well, none of those stocks are coming up over here. We keep seeing the same ones we looked at a couple weeks ago. We're not interested in looking at portfolio stocks, folks. You know what you own. You need something new. We need to play games, not with the same toys, with new toys. So let's bring us some hot penny stocks. We're looking for a hot chart with some hot news, something that you think people are buzzing about, something that has something that could push it along. The more we know, the more we're going to grow. Looking at the same stocks, we ain't learning nothing new. So I do have 2 of them right now that I want to share with you. We got these from our regulars. Thank you, guys. I so much depend on you. Velmore, you did give me a ticker, but since we've looked at it twice this last month, I put the hobnob on that one. Nothing personal. It's just we've looked at that before. So I asked you a couple times. I didn't get you a ticker, but you can probably drop it in there now and we'll get to it since we've only got 2. So whatever you got, 000 stock you got that's hot, we're willing to take a look at it. We got 2 stocks though. I think we got one from Mark Ryan and Kashera, which I can always count on you people. Thank you for being here, folks. Who else has come in here? Monty. Of course you're here, Monty. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, folks. Agba. Who's bringing up that? Mark. We've looked at Agba, man. I know you're talking about the warrant. Any of these major exchange stocks, folks, if they're running, you need to see if they have a warrant. Honestly, put a /WS or a W behind the ticker. That's normally the warrant. They're normally a lot cheaper penny stocks. And when the stock goes 20%, that warrant can go hundreds of percent. But it moves quick, hard, and fast. So don't be thinking it's going to go forever. Take the gains as they're moving. If you think more are coming and you're fearing you're going to miss out, then sell half. Take some, wait for some. But don't carry the whole load up the mountain. There ain't enough oxygen up there. You're probably going to fall and lose your entire package as you roll down the hill. All right, let's get on into this, folks. You know what? I don't even have my screen shared yet, but I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to try to take my time here, folks. I figure when we get done looking at these 2 stocks that I've already got lined up here, we're going to be looking at new ones, and I'm not going to have any due diligence lined up. So the only way I know how to do due diligence is the way I do it. And folks, I do QDD, quick due diligence. I just told you I'm doing it for 12 people through the day. They're talking about this stock, that stock, and I'm looking at charts and news and everything else. So I do quick DD. So I probably have to slow down for you, but if you follow along, you'll see it's the same thing. We cover all the bases. And if we run into some stocks that don't have any news here, any filings, we've got Twitter set up, Google set up, Yahoo Finance set up, and my favorite news site, that gives me all the news so we can catch up on whatever is going on real quick without having to rely on one site. So the first stock we're going to take a look at here is NBRI from Kishera. Thank you, my dear. This is a gold mining company. NBRI, North Bay Resources, finished today at a pretty decent price, 00125. She hits 002. You virtually made 100%. That's not a very big move on the chart. Wow. She went up almost 50% today. And look how much she went up, 0004. Like I said, it doesn't take a whole lot of move to get some percentage gains down there. She is on the lowest tier of the OTC, the pink. It's the most dangerous because you don't get a whole lot, if any, verified information down there. You get information like financials, but they're not verified. No CPA went through those. Those are just tallies that the management came up with, and they give them to us. And we got to figure them out if they're good or bad. So the only validated information I found was these two things. And you get it here at the OTC markets. You don't get this at every site. They have a verified profile, and they've got a transfer agent verified, which are two important things. They say they're a shell risk, which means they're in business, but they're not reporting any money. Now, that's not always the case. They passed a rule here recently that if you make a deal with another company and receive some assets in that deal, that is considered doing business. You have just gotten some money out of it. So they say you're in business, but you're not. So a lot of times that's misleading. So as I said, this is a gold mining company. They've got information over here at their website, northbay-resources.com. I scrolled down here to get it quick. First off, these are their projects right there. So you know how many projects they got. Mount Vernon, Fran Gold, Tabor Mine, Copper Island, and Murex Copper. These are all up in Canada. But what makes this company unique, and it's like we just looked at a company like this last week. Maybe it's the same company that's updated their website. They've got a gold mill, a crusher. It's easier to get the gold if you can get it out of the rock, ain't it? So they've got one of these. And that is pretty much what is going on. They've been working with these mines, looking for samples, blah, blah, blah. They finally got a load, their first load, sent up to the Bishop Gold Mill. And they got between 20 and 40 ounces out of the 2,000 tons of dirt that they brought in, rocks. So they were getting about 2 to 4 ounces out of every ton. So that's what's going on with the company. What was the relative volume? Way up. They went from 63 million, which isn't bad, up to 155 million, which isn't bad at all. Now, to put it in perspective, folks, we are over here at the OTC market. They tell us how many shares the entire market did today, 3.4 billion. And before you think, wow, what a big number. Back before COVID, that said 60 to 70 billion shares a day. A day. We're at 3.4, and we've been down here for years. Under 5 billion for a long time. It's been really, really bad. And that's for 12,300 companies. I guarantee you there are a lot of companies that got no volume today. Just didn't have a sale. You think, are they on the market? Yep, just not enough shares to go around. So they did 156 million of that 3.4 billion. Share structure for the company? Wow. They got 7.5 billion shares on the market. 2.5 billion of them do belong to the insiders. That's nice. That's about half. We get the up. Where'd you go? Oh, man, this does this. This has been like a virus. It kicks me out with some ABC thing on it. Sorry about that. Live, it'll get you every time. So we've got about 5 billion. They've got 2.5 billion. So, of course, you've got to expect a reverse stock split. It's still climbing. We're up to 52% gains now. Now, we're not trading it. It's aftermarketers. It's marketers and brokers, people behind the scenes who have the right to trade it aftermarket. We can't. So it is climbing right now, which is a good thing. Always is a good thing. So when they do a reverse stock split, they're going to get hit just as hard as we do because they got the exact same sort of shares. But when the stock gets up over 001, starts closing in on a penny, it's been running for a couple of days, expect it. Just expect it. Now, I did learn this. I'll turn you on to this. I was telling you that if they have voted on a reverse stock split anytime in the last year, management has the right to use it at their discretion without notifying us again. I was wrong. The SEC says they have to give a 5-day notification, whether by press release or filing, but they have to give a 5-day notice. Don't have to blow any whistles or ring any bells, but they got to tell you 5 days before. But that's as much notice as you're going to get in most cases. So you can always check Google, do a search with the company's name, and just put in vote split. And that's a lot easier than going through all the 8Ks trying to see if they voted on it. And it'll tell you if they had a vote on it. And if they did, chances are they approved it. Then you'd just be waiting for it to be announced 5 days before it happened. Let's see what we got. Financials. All right, we got no money coming in at all. Zero money. Wow. We got $1,000. That's not a dollar bill. We got to add 3 zeros to any of the numbers on these charts. So they've got enough money to keep that bank account open. They have $433,000 in assets. Wow, a lot of debt. Liabilities is up there at $4 million. So we're at like 8 times the assets. So we are holding stockholder deficit. We're holding that, not the company, $3.5 million. And you know, one of the ways you figure out the value of a stock, you take all the shares, what have they got? 7.5 billion, and you divide it into the number, 7.5 billion into negative 3.5. Folks, that is a huge negative number. So the fact that we're at this number and it's gaining anything is pretty exciting to me. Disclosures for the company. Nothing since 2018. And like I said, you don't get a lot of filings on the pink, but this is where activities will show up. What we have is the most recent financial. Not going to be a lot of hardcore information in there, but if you want to glance through it, it's pretty short. You can read it pretty quick and easy. So that's all we got going on for NBRI. There seems to be some excitement about this first load of gold ore coming into the mill and being crushed, and they did retrieve 40 ounces of gold. I don't know what gold's going for right now, but you can multiply that up in your head, and that's the company's money. So things are rolling right now. And I don't know how many batches of ore they got coming. They've got quite a few different sites, projects. You may want to look into that, see how many are actually producing right now. Where are they going to get their ore from and how often are they going to get it? That's going to make all the difference because they've got no revenues. Once revenues kick in, this could be a whole different ballgame. Gold is gold. All right, let's jump on over to Taylor's neck of the woods now.
Okay, so I'm starting off with the daily chart here. Just notice that, let's see, this is up to 0003. We were here from February up until the end of July. And then July is when we started getting this increase in volume. You can see we stair-stepped up for the last couple of months. So,
nice.
This is just the big picture. So I'm going to go to the 1 hour. And here we go. These are Heikinashis here. Yeah. So you can see from, let's see, started yesterday, we really started climbing. We jumped up above this this one level here, this 0008, and then I marked off 001. That's your favorite level there. That was a resistance from way back when, but we overtook that. And I saw this a little bit ago go all the way up to 0013, and it came back down. This is a delayed on Trading View, so that's why.
Yeah, news yesterday they got with a consulting agency. Doesn't look like great news, but on top of today's news, it just kept the momentum going, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, we're at like 0012 or 0013, and we're just still climbing. When I look at the 15-minute, yeah, you can see what has been going on starting. Let's see, today here, about here. It doesn't show all the after hours and
crossover. Right when you had your crossover there. And your oscillators are very good right now. All your oscillators are turned up and ready to swim. Your MAs, your oscillators. I like that chart. You know, I'm not a mining guy, but I don't really play companies. I play charts. I'm not investing. I'm trading. There's a big difference. The company is important if you get stuck holding a bag. So it is important to know what you're investing in. You may end up holding a stock for a very long time. But this is looking good. And they do have news and they do have gold. Gold is always hot. So this is where they're watching at these prices at 001. You don't have to move far to get some profit out of this puppy. Just don't hang around. Take your profits. Forget about the long haul, folks. The magic of getting rich is winning more often than you lose. It doesn't matter how much you bet. Doesn't matter how much you're putting down. Just win, and you are winning more. It's always more.
Yeah, I mean, in less than 2 weeks, it's gone from 0006 to 0012. That's 100% gains. But I
Yep.
don't think that was as predictable as
But it
these last couple of days.
right. And now we got predictability. We got volume. Our
Hmm.
MAs are climbing. Our oscillators are pushing up. You want every line on the board, every wiggly line to be pushing up. And all of them are pushing up right now. That's a signal. Regardless of what's going on with the company, the chart still has heat. So, we're riding that heat up. So that looks good. I'd put that on my watch list for tomorrow and just try to get it to 2 or 3, 002, 003. Come on, 100, 200% gains. Don't
Yeah.
get greedy. Doesn't have to go to a penny before you sell. No. Hello, Porterhouse. How you doing, good guy? Another one of my teammates that's over there with me in the afternoons on free members page. Man knows his stuff. I swear to God, I think these guys went to college. I feel a little overshadowed by them. I swear, Pookie is deep. For being such a young man, he knows his stuff like he's been out there 100 years doing this stuff. We got anything else to say about this chart, hon?
That's about it, really. I mean, because the values were so low, it's really hard to really map this out. You can see it'll
Right.
just stop. These are kind of, and when you're at the 000 level, you only can go up just so much.
Yeah, there's no middle ground. So it's
There's
either
really no middle ground,
7.
right? So this is about all I can do.
She stair stepped up and now she's starting to run. And once you get off the steps and start running, that's when you want to be watched. And she's worthy of watching. I will give her that much. All right, let us jump into the next and only other stock I have available for us. This came from my dear friend, Mark Ryan. Thank you, Mark. All right, that ain't it. That was me doing some backup work for us. We're looking at Vuzix Corp. I am fairly familiar with Vuzi. She's working with glasses technology with virtual reality and cameras and communication connection to devices and people. I mean, if it can connect to glasses, they're connecting them, and they're doing a lot with this. Vuzix Corporation finished today at $1.14, almost up 10%, almost is up 10 cents. This is a hot penny stock on the major exchange where your transactions are free. Most places charge you on the OTC to get in and get out. You got to subtract that from your profit. Tough to scale in and scale out, buying chunks at a time. It doesn't work as easy. Down here, all your transactions are free, so you can buy one share to try to push the price up. Lots of people do that. You can also trade pre-market, aftermarket. You can never do that with OTC. You don't need any special permission requirements or anything. Just get in there and trade. Change the time period, or you'll be bummed when it doesn't happen because it's a day trade by default in that box. You got to put in extended period or whatever they have at your site, pre-market, aftermarket, whatever. Plus, there's a lot more money, a lot more volume on the major exchange. If you have a choice in playing a stock that's going to move, you want it on the major exchange, folks. That's what you need. That's what we want. And the last thing is there's a lot of rules up there, folks. And as bad as that sounds, that's what keeps our investments safe. The rules are for the companies, not us. They don't have as many rules down in the OTC, so they get away with a lot more down there. And who pays for it? We do. So, as I said, Vuzix is a leading supplier of video eyewear products for the consumer and commercial as well as entertainment market. Let me see. I got a picture here. I do. So, as I said, they connect anything. I mean, you have got vision on the outside of the glasses, on the inside of the glasses. They've got projections, cameras. You can connect to diagrams, computers, people. I mean, all sorts of stuff. This was the original ones they came out with. This is where it all started. I remember I was finding pictures of it. And, I was excited about it. Now they're just coming up with all these different types of glasses that have all these different features that can be used in all these different sectors. And I mean, all sorts. So that one doctor in California can be doing an operation because he can see what's happening in Florida. And he can follow along. And it is just so amazing what we can do now. So they've got this technology and it is exploding right now. Vuzix is a leading designer, manufacturer, and marketer of smart glasses and augmented reality technologies and products for the enterprise, medical, defense, and consumer markets. The company's products include head-mounted smart personal display and wearable computing devices that offer users a portable, high-quality viewing experience, provide solutions for mobility, wearable displays, and augmented reality, as well as OEM waveguide optical components and display engines. And that's what they're working on right now, waveguides, which I don't understand a whole lot about, so don't ask me. Vuzix holds more than 400 patents. You know, I post news every day on patents, and you'd be amazed how stocks run on patent news. It's interesting. And patents pending and numerous IP licenses, intellectual property, in the fields of optics, head-mounted displays, and augmented reality wearable field. Now, this is one of the pieces of news that came out here. Vuzix targets additional OEM business opportunities on the heels of its recently announced strategic partnership and investment with Quanta Computer. Quanta Computer just invested $10 million into the company. I guess it came in a lot of different ways, cash, shares, because I went through the filings. We have the filing for the deal. We have the filings for the investment. We have a filing for shares being bought. They got 10.4% of the shares, which was like 68 million or something like that. So they just made a deal with them. And now they're working with something else here, but I was reading this. I didn't see anybody else coming into the picture. I think it's just like a plan. State-of-the-art waveguide production facility with over 25 years of optic experience. Vuzix leads the market in waveguide design. Housed in the company's New York-based production research facility, Vuzix is one-of-a-kind manufacturing facility. So they've got their own facilities. They're making their own products. And they've just made a deal. So it sounds to me they got a lot going on right now. I have not looked at the chart, so I haven't got any clue. See what the volume was. It dropped today about 30% from 1.5 million down to 1 million. And on the major exchange, 1 million shares is under the radar, folks. Share structure for the company. It's not too bad. We got ourselves about 65, 66 million outstanding. Anything under 100 million is good. Can't complain about that. Don't know what the insiders own, so I can't subtract that from the outstanding. That would tell us what the float is, which I call the unrestricted shares, which there is a difference to a degree. In either case, our float isn't going to be any higher than 65, and it could be a lot lower. Market cap right now, we're at about 68 million. What are they making? Wow. Over the last 4 years, they're really not getting anywhere. They were at 11.5 million, topped out at 13. Right now, we're at 12.1. They're just kind of going sideways, ain't they? No, not really. What's going on here? They started making profits, hanging on to them, and then the bottom dropped out here. Now, maybe that's why they needed the investments. Maybe the financials needed help. You know, I don't understand all that stuff, but maybe they had some people come in here that are going to help them out with this factor because they've got hot products, they got hot technology. It should be making them money, not losing them money. Quarterly, year ago, we were at 4.6 million. We got to throw 3 zeros on any of these, remember. And it's falling. Now we're down to 1 million over the last year. Wow, that's a big drop in quarterly revenues. That's a huge drop. And again, we're still losing money down here. We are in the red. Financials aren't looking too good. Cash and cash equivalents, think of it as the bank. We got about 10 million. Total assets, about 39 million. Total liabilities, thank God for that. We're only down here at about 3 million. So we do have positive stockholder equity. Good. They've got a foundation for us, something we can stand on. We got about 35 million in the company that is making revenues, isn't making a profit, but they've got another company that's come in with 10 million to back them up. So that's a good thing to see. I like the products. I like seeing a bigger company come in with money for them. That says somebody did their own due diligence. They vetted the company, and they're not going to throw 10 million at a loser. So that's good. Disclosures. These Form 3s are like Form 4s, except they tell you how many shares somebody owns. I'm not real interested at this point in time. This SC13G is when a new investor comes in and buys a lot of shares. They become part owner. That is Quanta Computer. 8K here is also about the Quanta Computer deal. Tells you right there the company received gross proceeds of 10 million upon the closing. So that's what we got going on here. They've got hot technology. It is going to touch a lot of different sectors. It is going into virtual reality. I'm sure AI is going to come into play here sooner or later. Come on now, it just will, right? So the depth of how far this company's products can go are really big. Entertainment, we haven't even thought about entertainment. Where this can go, it has sound, in case I didn't mention. You can talk to people, it's got sound and everything. So I think this is a hot company down the road. Right now, it could be hot for the short run, but that's up to Taylor to tell you. I haven't got a clue until I look at the chart.
Okay, so
Okay.
this is the daily chart with regular candles here. Just a few things. It's 52-week low was 83 cents here. Just happened like
Okay.
the day after this latest earnings report, and its 52-week high was $3.73. But a couple things. This stock seems to react pretty unfavorably to all these earnings reports, especially this one over here. We had quite
Wow.
a drop, a gap
Yeah.
down, and never recovered it. So prior to this, I think it was in October that we hit that 373. Yeah, October 2nd of last year. So, you know, about a year ago. But yeah,
So the
since this
question
gap
is,
down,
what does she do afterwards? If we just had one and we hit an all-time low, does she normally bounce off those low bubbles from the financials to
um,
the high?
well, so after that day, it went down even more the next after that. But yeah, it did bounce back up, but then it just broke right through and kept going down, like you can
Right.
see right here.
So the bounce
This
back is real brief.
Yes, it's brief, but it did come back, but then it never even recovered this at all.
No,
So see,
no.
this is just still this gap that needs to be filled, but I don't know if it's going to hit it. Let's see, there was a couple other things. Let me go over to the 1 hour. Okay, so this is the 1 hour with Heikenashis here, and this level I marked off. Let's see, I'm trying to think what was I looking at here? Sorry, I was in another room for a second. Okay, so like, we have some support resistance here when I was looking back here. You can see support, support, and then it came up and it's been resistance a couple times
It's pretty
here,
light support, though. I mean, it's
not
just really a
here.
couple of bounces.
Yeah. So, but this right here, it seemed to have bounced off of it a few times on the 1 hour and over here
Ah,
too.
yeah, there's a big bounce. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that that strengthened it up.
Yeah, I didn't go back far enough. So yeah, there was here, and then there was here, and then these few this time here, this day, whatever day that was in August, and then there's resistance right there.
Well, she looks good now. She's
It looks
starting to
good now.
come up.
If we can get above this, that would be fantastic. But that's the next level, like around 118, give or take.
118.
So
So we'd like to see it hit 120.
yes, that would
Yeah,
be
so
ideal.
120 would be an entry for this. Most likely she's going to start pushing. Haven't looked
Yeah,
at the charts close, but we want to get over those resistances on the other side of the speed bump where we step on the gas.
yeah. Here's the 15-minute, so you can see what happened today and yesterday. How we kind of moved up.
I like that. That's
Hmm.
looking good. All the SMAs. Your oscillators look like they're on a bounce right now. So there's good reason to watch this,
Yeah.
especially if you can break that strong resistance that you had from all the way back. There
Hmm.
seems to be a lot of area up there that she can move freely in.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to see this get above 118 to 120 ish. If it can hold above that, then we can definitely move up from there. But as of now, I would expect it to kind of hit this, maybe come back down and retest one of these, and
Yep.
then maybe go up above it. There was
Yep.
one more thing I saw on the 1 hour. Let me see. Oh yeah, right here. So this did follow a good chart pattern. You can see this cup and handle right here. It followed it perfectly. See,
Oh
cup,
yeah.
handle, and then up.
Yeah.
So it did follow a good chart pattern there. So keep an eye
Yeah,
out for
that
those.
that
It's
that was a
respected those.
beauty. And you got a
Hmm.
second chance to get in on that big dip. Do it all
Yep.
over again.
And it went down to these two EMAs here at the 200 and the 50.
Yeah.
When it
Solid.
surged, it bounced right off of that perfectly, and now we're going back up.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll probably hit that resistance, come back down on that other chart and hit the strong MAs like it did just right there, and
Hmm.
then bounce off of that. That's what we're hoping for. We got to
Yeah, and
watch
that's
that.
right at a
Nobody
dollar.
knows.
So this is right at a dollar. So probably maybe like 102 or something by that time. We'll
Well,
have to
we've got
see.
2 out of 2 that you guys have brought us that are worthy of watching. Hey, hey,
Yep.
hey. That's what we're talking about. All right, let's see then. We have got nothing else prepared here. So we have to turn to our comments now, folks. Let's see what you've been talking about. Velmore looks like she's gotten one in here, and it does look like Velmore's next. You took my advice and got it in quick. Good for you. All right. Um, MLGO, we will take a look at. Oh, forget MLGO. I'm reading. I'm
She,
reading.
yeah, I was gonna say, read her second message.
Women, you never take the first thing they say. Keep listening. There you
I was
go.
about to correct you.
Of course you were. Of course you were. Right. GRNF. Okay, that's fine. John, be careful what you wish for. I might give you stuff to blow your mind. I like my mind blowing. At my age, I've seen it all. So show me something I ain't seen. All right, GRNF. Let's do it then. All right, folks, we're going to do this the way I normally do my research since I don't have anything else. GRNF, is that what it was? Green Holdings. Is this a twig company? People are saying twig. What the heck are you talking about? That word right there. If I say that word or another word like it that begins with a C, YouTube doesn't want to show my videos. Well, not show them, but they won't let anybody put ads on them. They won't pay me for any views. Not that they get a lot of views. I mean, big deal. But they say that advertisers are a little sensitive to that. But you know what? I was calling it twigs as an inside joke, and it seemed to have carried. But the hell with that. I believe in marijuana. There, I said it. So this is a marijuana company. That's the marijuana company. No, that's not. What the heck did I get? Green Holdings Corporation finished today just under 4 cents. Wow. Up almost 44% today on the pink. Got her verified information. Best we can get. Okay, let's see. The company is involved in global distribution. That's good, not just stateside, so you don't have to worry about the American laws hindering the growth. There are so many companies in this country that got a whole different ball game than the rest of the world. Rest of the world is involved with imports and exports. We ain't doing that yet. We can't even get smoke grown in California, out of California, let alone out of the country. Other countries are selling to each other, making money, and we're stuck over here twiddling our thumbs, trying to figure out how much money the government can get out of it before they legalize it. Don't let anyone tell you it's a health issue. We've been smoking it too long for it to be a health issue. All right, off my podium. Sorry. All right, let's see what we can learn here about this company. First thing we'll look at is the relative volume. It's way up today. She's jumped like just shy of 500,000 more shares today than she normally does, which is almost 5 times as much volume. Share structure, please. Decent share structure, right? We only got 35 million in this. Oh boy. Curious, insiders own most of it, 27 million of those. We only get 7.2. Now, in a lot of cases, this really looks good. But to me, you've got to be leery. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about the company. I'm just letting you know that a lot of companies on the pinks take advantage of their position in the company. They buy a lot of shares. They'll get the stock pumping with some hot news because there's no validated information on the pinks. And people will start to push that stock up. And since they're not having any hurdles to jump through to sell, all they have to do is sell, they unload and they make their money. And the stock comes way down. And if it hasn't been up and it's been down for like 3 months, 6 months, 10 months, all of a sudden it starts running on its hot news and then comes down. Guess what? It's probably going to stay down there again. I've been in many companies that have hot news every 3 to 5 months that never materializes, and they're all on the pinks. These guys tell a lot of stories down here. Mother Goose raised these kids. So we've got a small float down here. So when the stock does run, we got a small float. So it should move nicely. Our market cap, only $1 million. Yeah, that's all we got. Are they making any money? They are. Now, before we run too far, I do want to see a little bit more about the company. I do want to dive into their site, see how many countries they're in. Not making any money. Can't be in a whole lot of countries, right? $28,000 for the whole year of 2023. and back because they have half year of 2022 and 2023, and they lost it. It's gone now. Well, I'm not even interested in going to their website now. I mean, I was interested to know how far they were getting their footprint. They're not making any money. So the footprint is only a bigger expense at this point, which is what happened to Aurora. They got so bloody big, they bought something in every single country and state that it became legal in. They couldn't afford it all. And oh my God, I lost $7,000 on that company when it fell. Whoa, that was like a sunflower with too many seeds. Snap, it just fell right over. So we got nothing in the bank here. Hint, hint. We've got 1.3 million in assets, only 54 in liabilities. Woohoo! We are holding 1.3 million in stockholder equity. That's the only bright and shining star I see here right now. Disclosures. We got our most recent quarterly report, which isn't going to be a lot of information, but that just came out a few days ago. It would be worth looking at because it came from the management and it is on record. So they are responsible for anything they said in that. That is validated to the point of you can't say it unless it's true. 144 shareholder meeting. No. Aggregate market. Not sure. We would have to figure that one out. I don't know what all the filings mean, folks. I would like to say I do. And that's 2022. That was 2023. So there's nothing down there to even consider. Now, just out of curiosity, let's see if we have a website here. It was Marijuana Inc. Did they change their name a while ago? I remember Marijuana Inc. when I first started trading marijuana back in 2018. So it seems to me something changed here. So they got a pretty site, pretty buds. Management, not so pretty. But that's about it, right? Look at this. News. So I don't see any deals. I don't see any other companies working with them. We don't see any money. I don't see anything here to get excited about. Even if the laws changed, this is sad. If the laws would have changed tomorrow, this company would run. Though it has nothing I see worthy of getting into. I don't like this company. You want cannabis companies? I can give you a list of much, much, much better cannabis companies. Just start with Tilray and Curaleaf, the two biggest in the world, billions of dollars, biggest by footprint. Super duper cheap right now. Unbelievable cheap. Can't believe how cheap they are. They're going to be big, folks. This one, we're looking at it. That's all I can say. Now it's up to Taylor to get you excited because I know I didn't do much for you there.
Okay. Just a couple of things here. I marked off some levels
Sorry
here.
about more.
The low here, it looks like it was around 0052. I noticed this back here though, so be careful looking at these charts. We have a reverse split, 1 for 20, nearly 2 years ago, but it's still worth mentioning.
Okay.
So just know that. Here I noticed at 10 cents, we have a little bit of support, and then some resistances, but we're nowhere near that. We're down here at like 3 cents. Here it looked like it was support for a while at around 3.5 cents, which is like right around where we are now. So that's a good level to get above. It looked like it did try today, but came back down. I'm not sure exactly where it is now because these are delayed. But that's the daily chart. And I had to switch to Heikenashi's because it looks really crazy with regular candles. So let's go to the 1 hour and see what that looks like.
Right now the chart looks good. The volatility's quit, which was kind of good if you like to scalp. There's a lot of bounces there, but
yeah,
steady climb is so much easier to play.
Yeah, this is the 1 hour chart. So you can tell like some of these, these days look longer than others because I guess not much was going on at all. Like it wasn't even trading. See, the volume's real low.
Yep.
That's why these look like shorter days, but they're really not. It's very strange. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I guess nothing was being traded, so there was just yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's just been climbing ever since yesterday. It looked like we started off at around like a little less than 2 cents. Now we're at almost 4.
Yeah,
so like about 100%.
Yeah, and the chart is swinging right now on the long chart. What's the short chart look like?
Let's see. I'll do 15-minute. It's like a
I'm
pretty steady
liking
climb.
that. Oh God. Give me my surfboard. The wave is here. That's it right there. I love that. That is
nice
perfect.
healthy pullbacks here to get in, several of them.
You got 3 golden crosses occurring right now as she crosses the 200.
There's
Rudolph
one.
has
There's
her
one.
nose lit. She's ready to fly.
Yeah.
I'm liking the chart. Yeah, okay, Velmore. I did ask for hot charts. I did. And that's what I play. You know, if I was going through charts looking for something to play, I wouldn't be looking at news. And this chart would catch my attention. And I would look for an entry based on supports and resistances, never looking on any other site to see what's going on. I don't care. The guy could have just got arrested for drunk driving, the CEO. I don't care. The chart's running. I'm going to play the chart. So yeah, I'm liking that.
Yeah, for sure. That's about
Okay.
it.
Well, I guess we'll just stay in line here. We'll just go to the next one. What do we got for the next one? I was scrolling down here seeing Porterhouse was here, and I sure appreciated you. He's actually 70. He's grandfather. Funny dude. David, thank you for showing up. What happened to Twigs? See, I told you people know about Twigs. Uh, forgot to switch accounts. Porterhouse was here by mistake. Dude, Monty, I think you win, dude. And I just brought that up by coincidence, didn't I? Or is that not what one you wanted to look at?
I
Folks,
think
we
he was
don't have,
answering your question. I'm not sure.
yeah, I'm looking here. There's not a whole lot of you here with us right now. We got 13 of you. I love all of you. That's my lucky number right now, 13. You guys got any stocks on your mind? Because we can look at cannabis if you want. We got 3 of them here that I mentioned. I think Monty was just kind of throwing those out there because I mentioned them. I really don't want to look at PHBI again. I've had enough of the water company, hon. Agba, and I'm looking at the news all day. I haven't seen anything pop up for Agba, so we would just be looking at whatever the chart is doing. And unless the chart is taken off, and I didn't see anything today on it. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I didn't see anything on it at all. So, yup. What's the yup? You want to look at ACB? Okay, we're going to look at ACB, folks. ACB is a cannabis company, Aurora. As I said, when this company came onto the market, like all companies, she was on the OTC. She had nothing. She had no field. She had no building. She had no pot. And the only way we could gauge how strong a company was by multiplying how many square feet an indoor area or an outdoor area had by how many grams it could produce. And we figured out
He's
that.
saying no to that one. He was just commenting what you were asking when you were asking about
We say
ACB.
no to that one. Well, that's good because I didn't even change my page. All right, then. Should I pick a stock, folks? You want me to grab a stock for you here? I mean, one that came up in news. Cavo just did a deal. They did a merger deal. This is the vape company. I did invest into this company. I think they did a reverse stock split just after I got in. Wouldn't you know it?
What,
And what?
Monty? What's going on? I can't. He's saying no, and then yes to what?
Monty, I think your button's stuck. Curl, the underdog.
There we
There
go.
he is. All right, we did look at Curl last week, though, didn't we? Bloody hell. Why do we keep looking at the same stocks, folks? I just went through 15 stocks this week over my Penny Boys group, and none of them were these. Curl, PHB, we play stocks that are moving, that have volume. That's really the key here, folks. The volume. We want that bottom to be all blue. That is a stock moving. That's a stock that has volatility, a stock that is, if water is coming out of a hose, it's much easier to know how to get out of the way because you can see how far it's coming out. If they don't have it on, where are you going to hide? Where are you going to go? You don't know where that water is going to go. We need the volume. That's truly what a hot stock is. But volume can go down too. And every day I post the hottest stocks happening through the day, bad and good. We got a shorter in the Discord group. I love you, dude, but I don't like shorters. But hey, the way I see it, you're giving us those bounces that we need to kind of climb off of. So keep at it. Do whatever you're doing to make money. So I bought some time here for you. Kidda, you got it, brother. Kidda was one of the stocks that we were playing today over in the Discord group. Thank you, Brian. Saving the day. You'd be amazed how my brain just turns off when I need it to turn on. KTTA. It's like being around a pretty girl. That's the way you guys are to me. I want to impress you. So I kind of get a little hobnobbish. All right. KTAA, Pacitia Therapeutics. What a name. All right. We're going to call this Kita. Kita finished today at 585, was up over 50%. She jumped $2 today, folks. These are the sort of stocks we're playing at Penny Boys. Stocks that jump $2, of course they have bounces, folks. Of course they do. We find an entry. We can see when the stock is building up by using our charts. We get in as it's building up, just before the whistle starts to go off from the teapot. And then we get out up here at the next spot where it keeps bouncing and coming back down. We get out. We know where these happen because we chart our charts. And this had many bounces. So we got in it many times and people took lots of gains through the day. 3 or 4 times you play the same stock and you end up with that one big gain. Truth of the matter is, if you held Netflix from when they came on the market to now, you'd be rich. But if you had played the bounces, you'd have 4 times as much, 5 times, 10 times as much as you have right now. Bounces pay a lot more because you're catching the downdraft, always turning it around and putting it in your pocket. So what do we got here? Well, this is a NASDAQ stock with all those benefits. It's a company out of Florida. It is a biotech company that engages in research and discovery for the central nervous system disorders. And they've got a couple of things here about what type of things they do. All right, so it sounds like we've got ourselves a research and development company. First way to tell that is see if they're making any money. Research and development don't have any products to sell. They're still looking for one. So we've got no money here annually, and we got no money quarterly. So they are still looking for that gold nugget in the hill. Let's see what we've got on our balance sheet. Well, they have about $8 million in the bank, $18 million in assets, and our liabilities is way down there. That's
Put your
what you
screen
want.
up.
Nobody told me. Oh, I'm kicking myself in the foot.
I told you.
Shit. Oh, did I just say that? Oh my God. I hate making mistakes. Now they're going to really block me from advertisement. All right. So I am so sorry, folks. You know, I should have said something there. Let's see here. I'm going to back up here because I want you to see.
Okay.
This is important. The financials. All right. Going back annually. That's the balance sheet. There you go. Research and development don't have any products to sell, so they're not making any money. We don't see any money coming in, which tells me they don't have any products to sell. And now in the quarterly, short term, we got no money, which means they're spending money, paying for research, paying for all sorts of stuff. And where are they getting that money? From us and big investors. So companies like this do a lot of public offerings. Hopefully they've got big investors coming in. We haven't seen anything yet because we haven't looked yet. The balance sheet, as I said, they do have money in the bank of about $8 million, and they do have assets, and their liabilities are way low. So we're not holding a lot here. That's what I want to see, an R&D company that can support themselves. We've actually got $16 million worth of equity in this company. So if we take all the shares right there, whoa, wow, we have only 1 million shares outstanding, folks. Our float is going to be lower than that because the insiders own something, right? So we have a super duper minuscule float. They do 10 million shares in a day. Every share had to sell over 10 times, right? Well, take that 1 million, divide it into those financials over here of their equity. Let me get the right one. This is what happens when you try to move fast. Quarterly, not annual. 1 million into that. That's 16 million. What's the price of the stock? 5.8. So based on equity, I've not seen a whole lot of R&D companies that are lopsided like that. This based on equity is worth $16 right now. God, I like that. Let's take a look at the share structure we looked at. Their market cap is up there at 4 million, pretty light. Their volume today was way up there. Holy cow. Let me see.
Yeah, way up there is right.
Yeah, way up there from 20,000
Way up there
to 56 million. You're looking at, I can't even figure this out, folks. 5 for every 100,000. That gives you 50 for every, wow, it's way up there, folks. This huge jump. So let's see what the catalyst was. The news came out today. The company announces positive initial safety tolerability, pharmacokinetic, and preliminary efficacy data from its phase 1 clinical trial. You got to be kidding me. R&D companies go through phase trials 1, 2, and 3. 1 is to see if it's safe. Can you take it, not die, not get chronic hiccups, diarrhea, something? If you get through that, which takes about a year, ta-da, you get this sort of news. Yay! Then you go to phase 2. Phase 2, which costs more money, lasts for about 3 years. This is to see if your drug does what you say it does. Then if that finishes, you get good news. Woohoo! Another jump. Then it comes all the way back down again because you got another 5 years for phase 3 to compete your drug against everybody else to see if yours is better. Top dog wins. They're not going to put a weaker drug on the market. And that takes 5 years. So what I'm saying is we got a long ways to go. Most of the time with R&D companies, you've got to catch that jump, get in, get out, let it fall. It ain't going to stay up there, folks. And I'll tell you this much, every morning pre-market, there is at least 5 to 10 pieces of news from pharmaceutical companies with reports from the FDA. Matter of fact, if you jump over here to this site, stocktitan.net, they've got news that comes in all day and they break the news down into categories for you. FDA approvals and clinical trials. You can come over here very first thing in the morning to find out which stocks are running, which ones have news, what that news is. Phase 3 right there. Phase 3 right there. Chances are these bad boys are running at this very freaking moment because they came out after market. So that's something that you can tap into. But once it starts running, if you weren't there, don't think it's going to run for today, tomorrow. No, that's not what R&D companies do. Not by what I've learned. So we've got great news, but I don't know how long this is going to stay up. And I think I've shown you everything you need to see, except let's check our filings. You do have an 8K here that came out today. Probably has to do with the news. Yep, that came out to correspond with the news. And there's your most recent financial. And this will be interesting. It's a 10Q, so you're going to get all the information, where they spend their money, who's invested in the company, the investors, all that information is inside these. A lot more for the serious due diligence. If you want to go to Google and read news presses, you can do that too. So let's turn this on over to my favorite co-host, Taylor.
Okay, am I on the right chart? Let's see.
You're on, baby.
I was seeing if I was on the right chart. I was looking at something. Let's see. I was looking for the 52-week high back there, but it doesn't matter because we had a reverse split back in January, and it was right before that, so it's going to be messed up. The 52-week high says it was 1740, but that's not going to be accurate because it happened before this split. So
didn't
forget
you
that.
talking about that not being correct? Didn't you tell me that you saw that Mullen after the last split? She's had 4 splits now. That back in 2020, how much was her high back in 2020?
Oh, back in 2020, it was, let me see. Back in
Wasn't it
2020, it
3
was
billion?
36.2 million. Before that, in 2012, it was 1.35 billion with a B, which is ridiculous
So if
and
you look at the
completely
chart,
incorrect.
folks, go back 3 years on Mullen. Look at the high day, the high bubble. It says $36 million for Mullen. That's
For
what
one share, yeah.
for one share. That's what this reverse split is doing to the charts. They are taking the entire chart, not just after the split, but before the split, and they're changing all the prices. And if you've had 2 reverse splits, a 5 and a 10, well, that's 5 times 10 is 50. So now you got to multiply every price times 50. Well, Mullen has had 100, a 20, a 9. You got to multiply like 9,800 or something. It's ridiculous. So you can't trust the numbers, folks. The chart itself is right. The percentages are right, but the numbers are completely wrong, and they're going to be stuck there for as long as I know.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, we'll just go with the 52-week low, which was recent, like a couple weeks ago. $3.61. And now we're up here at 590. Let's see. So this jumped up. Looks like the first jump was this morning, right at pre-market hours is where it initially jumped. We jumped all the way to 650 something, and then all the way to $7. And then today we had this going on. So the daily chart without Heikenashi's looks like that, because pre-market it jumped way up here and then came back down. So that's why it looks weird. So if you go to Hakinashi's,
Yeah.
and if you go to 1 hour, that's what it looks like.
Boy, does that look completely different, didn't it?
Yeah,
That big
it
red
does.
ball went green.
It's all about the perspective. Yeah. So
Ah,
this is basically what happened. This is more accurate or more of a representation of what went on. It climbed in the pre-market hours and then came back down during the day.
and trying to go back up now after she found her floor. Looks like she's
Mhm.
trying. Is the price actually over that MA,
Um
or is it
as
just
of right, no,
underneath?
these might be delayed, so I'm not sure. Let me see. Is it KTTA?
Is that
It
after
looks like
hours?
right now it's at 582 is what I'm seeing over here. So not yet. They're
Right.
over these.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It needs to get over that. That what is that? A
This
nine
is the
day?
9.
Oh, that's the nine. Well, yeah, you can't climb till you're on top of the nine. That's
Yeah.
just that's the first rule. You can't get on
Yeah.
the first step. You're not on the steps yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we got to get up there. Yeah, it was a nice run today. She
Mhm.
definitely shot off of the floor. No bouncing, no thinking about it. Volume came from nowhere. I don't think you're going to see it go any higher, though. That's just my opinion because it is.
Most of that came from pre-market, though. Keep that in mind.
And that's when the news came out, pre
Right.
market. So, and that's why I'm saying the news comes out from the FDA early. And most of the news I post is coming from the FDA. I do a lot of that in the morning. Put it on Twitter, put it on my Discord group. And you can just go to the site yourself and get the information come up. But I
Mhm.
wouldn't expect this to have any more tomorrow. I mean, I
Probably
could be
not.
wrong, but in most cases, these research and development companies crash after news on a phase 1, phase 2 trial because you got a long ways to go.
Yeah, lots of them might be a pump and dump situation. I'm not sure.
Well, if the FDA is involved, I figure it's pretty much legitimate.
Yeah, it's legitimate, but like, it's just news. They like to buy, buy the rumor, sell the news. But when the news came out, jumped up here, but the hype might be over by, it'll be over by next week probably. I don't know.
I think it'll be over by tomorrow lunchtime.
Yeah,
I
could
do.
be.
I think she'll take a hard plunge. R&Ds have never impressed me. I've never been impressed. If you can catch the bounce, and normally I can't because as soon as the news comes out, it moves.
Hmm.
You, you don't have time. I mean, I do this after hours. I have found that any piece of news that comes out at 401, 403, 407, my God, they just go because there's nobody there to short it. There's nobody there. Everybody who's there wants it. So it just goes blip, 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 and it goes up and up and up. But it's so quick that by the time I read the news and realize it's good and go over there, it's already halfway up. And I don't want to chase. So you really got to be on the ball to catch those. But yeah, it's a solid rip if you've got a system. If you can figure out how to get in and get out, that's the thing I just want to make clear, folks. If you're lucky enough to get into these wherever you can get out before it turns red. Don't wait for it to turn red to be motivated to sell. That's what everybody does, and that's why everybody's broke. Do the opposite. Sell when it's rising.
Have an exit strategy ready.
Yes, you need to know where the exits are anywhere you go. In case something goes wrong, you need to know how to get out. So we never enter a trade on our Penny Boys group without knowing an exit first. You get an entry and an exit at the same time. They come together. You don't go in unless you know how you're getting out. That's how you get trapped because you got to make a decision. There are no decisions to be made in our place. We make all the decisions before we get in. We have a stop loss. Stop loss is your safety net, goes underneath where you got in. You get in at $1 and the price keeps falling down to 95 cents and bouncing up. You take your stop loss down to 93, 90 cents where it doesn't bounce. And if it goes below 95, you know it's probably going to fall. So you have an automatic sell order there to sell for you so that you don't get trapped. But in every other case, you have your exit that you're shooting for, which is just a little bit above you, maybe 6 cents, 8 cents, 20 cents, and you are happy to take that. Multiplied times 1,000 shares is $80, $100, $200 for every 1,000 shares you buy. Every point is $10. So you can make money and just keep doing it all day instead of riding one stock all day, being frustrated, hoping, getting upset, sweating, wondering if you got enough time. Is this another bag? Man, 7 minutes of trading with an entry exit plan. So much easier. And you feel better at the end of the day with 3 wins. You got up the bat 3 times. No, you never hit a home run, but you got on base every time. That is success. That's
Mhm.
success, folks. And that's what we practice at Penny Boys. Success. Getting in, getting out with the gain. It was only 3%. Woohoo! Let's smoke one for that. 3% is better than losing 3%. You
Mhm.
never go broke if you're gaining. It's always more. Get used to that thought, folks. If you pull that jackpot and you only get $3, are you going to leave the $3 there because you didn't get the jackpot? Hell no, you're going to take your $3. Take what is given. If it gives you the money, take it. Don't be waiting for what it hasn't given. Give what's taken. If you got profit, sell half, sell 1/3, sell 75%. Let your greed go up with a little less. Carry a lighter load up there that is risky. Maybe it's not risky, but you got gains anyways, and you got more gains by letting some ride. But always take something, folks. I promise you, 5 years down the road, you're going to thank me and say, that old man wasn't as silly as I thought he was. How far did you get on that chart? What was the short chart look like? Because I'm liking that chart right there.
Didn't we just talk
I,
about it?
I don't know. I'm asking you because I've looked at 200 charts.
Yeah, this was the 1 hour.
Right, right. It's
Yeah,
about ready to break over the 9. Can't climb till you're over the 9.
yeah.
Right. All right. That bring us back to here. Not there. She was so much better with this than I am. Sparrowhawk Racing Team. Hey, hey, hey. A name I haven't seen before. And if it was here and I missed it, I apologize. Great seeing you. Looking for another ticker here, folks. Friends in 5. Hello, I'm late to the party. That's okay. We record these just for that situation. Already covered it. Don't know. IQ has been rising lately. You know what? Uh-oh. Monty's got SGN. Been watching it myself. DCR. Yeah, we kind of talked about them. You know what? IQ sounds interesting. Is it a penny stock, though? Worries me when I only see 2 letters. Let's see. Before I bring you over here, folks. Yes. All right. Come on over, folks. I got the house all cleaned. We're ready to share now. So we're going to take a look at ticker IQ. Ikiyi, Ikiyi. I'm going to go with the Ikiyi. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Ikiyi sounds good to me. She finished today at $2.68. By golly, I'm trying to get to our state page. 15% up on the NASDAQ and China. We got a Chinese company. Most of the companies we were playing today, like 2 days ago, were Chinese. Chinese did a cut rate on their interest. 0.5 point across the board, 0.5 point on mortgage rates, which is a big, big deal over in their country. 1/4 of their economy is supported by the real estate. And they have ghost cities. They have built hundreds of mansions that never got sold. And the reason they built all this stuff, and I mean a city, folk, I mean cities, entire skyscrapers, nobody in any of them, totally empty. They were going to be filled with furniture and appliances and pictures and carpet and all that good stuff that would be bought in China. Well, the government came down and says, you're borrowing too much money. Stop it. But we need more money. We ain't giving it to you. Well, we quit. And they walked away from all the jobs 10 years ago. And all that stuff is still sitting there. So they have got all sorts of property deals right now. They're even going to give a 100% loan if you'll buy that city or buy those mansions and take care of getting them on the market for them. They'll give you 100% of the money that you need. So Chinese companies are running now. Not all of them, a lot of them. IKEA, she was at 268 with 15% gains. Her volume today, kicking. Look at that, up over 5 times her normal, going from about 12 million to 62 million. Share structure for this company, kind of high for a Chinese company. Chinese companies like low share counts. I'm not quite sure why, but I like it. We got about $500 million here. Don't know what the insiders own, so I can't do any math. So all I can say is outstanding won't be more than $500 million, but it could be considerably less. Market cap, we're at about 174 million. 174 million? I think that's how they say it. Okay, this company's making revenues. Now, I'm sure people that trade big stocks, it's like, that's not that much. For penny stocks, that's a lot of money. We're talking about billions of dollars here, folks. We got 3 zeros to put behind everything. And basically, they're roughing it between, well, 4.5 billion over the last 4 years. But what's really improved is the profit margin. Wow. It basically doubled year over year until this last year when it only went from 960 million to 1.2 billion. They're doing quite well financially. Quarterlies, we're not going to get any of those. That happens. Let's take a look at our balance sheet. Should be impressive. 626 million in the bank, over a half a billion, 6.2 billion in assets, 4.5 billion in liabilities. We, the investors, get 1.7 billion dollars in this penny stock. Take a half a billion and divide it into that. What's that? 330. Ooh, close. Yeah, we're real close here. Disclosures. We got an investor about a month ago. Yeah, that's 2024. 13DA. Now there's a 13G and a 13D. One is for a silent investor. He doesn't do anything but give you his money and walk away. The other one wants to be a part of the action. He wants to have a voice in it. And I can't remember which is which right now. We just had an investor here, Pagac ITV. You get the name here, how many shares they've just gotten, and it normally shows you percentage right there, 4.8. And you can have lots of them listed here, but normally all the names you'll see in one way or another are associated with each other. You may see LTC, Limited, Incorporated, and then you'll see the owner himself, James Dean. He'll be down here. So as you can see, we got lots and lots of them here. I haven't gone through this, folks. Let me see. On August 22, 2024, Paga Asia transferred an aggregate of $200 million principal amount of convertible senior notes to the borrower. So they're going to give you information here about a lot of this. Wow, right there, folks. So you've got an investor that's come in, which was my general point. Somebody's come in. They like the company. 6K is their financial results to go along with their... Nope, 6K is their financial results. So that's it right there. So if you're looking to see what this company's about, that's where you dive in to get your information. And I have no clue what that is. Never seen one of those in my life. Announces the results of repurchase right offer to its 4% convertible notes. So they're dealing with a lot of these investors with the notes that they're carrying, the loans that they're carrying, which is a big deal. Let's see. What is our catalyst for this company? Dun, 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 dun. Hold me in anticipation. Nothing. All right. So what we'll do here, I've got my IQ. Let's see if they've put anything over here. Yeah, IQ is probably going to come up with too much random stuff. Is there an actual name? IKEA. Let's use that name instead. That's more particular. A tweet, anybody? Hey, we've got a Twitter account here. That's good. We like that. Let's see. The most recent tweet came out 5 hours ago, mostly in Chinese. Happy birthday to somebody. I have no idea. That's a girl. I don't think that's what we're looking for. So let's come back to our name and ticker. What I want to do here is just jump over to my news site, and we'll just see if there's any news over here. This is pretty good about it. IQ. Most recent news came out today. Glad we took a look. IKEA unveils over 300 new titles at the 2024 iJoy conference, adding focus on short dramas to accelerate growth. Let me see. IQ is a leading online entertainment video and service provider in China, renowned for its innovative blend of creative talent and cutting-edge technology. And they just got themselves 300 new titles. And if you click in here, I love this part. Instead of having to read all that news, the news press is down there. They give you a blurb up here and then bullet it out right there. That makes it so easy to read news. Just come over here and get the important stuff. Forget all the adjectives. We don't need that stuff. Launch of over 300 new titles. Glowing global popularity. Development of Tadu 2 intelligent assistant. Is that AI, you think? And diversification of their content, documentaries, and films. So now we've got an idea of what the heck has been going on here. Was there anything else that we could get from maybe yesterday? The last piece of news sparks new wave in China comedy scene. So they're always going to have news. They're dealing with entertainment like Netflix. They're going to always be telling you what's going on. To me, I'm not excited about those sort of companies, but then I'm not trading companies, am I? No, I'm trading charts. And if the chart's exciting, I'm on it. So I think we have covered everything here. Did we? Yes. Yeah, we got that. We got the share structure bouncing around like that. You never know. I think we did. Yeah, we're good. All right, 15% gains on that 268. Let's see what that looks like on the charts for us.
Okay, it looks a little weird, but we looked at this back in December. So this was marked off December. So these
Okay.
lines up here, that's what I had already marked. I just marked these two down here. So we're way far away than what we were.
Yeah.
52-week high is 580, which was right here back in May. 52-week low was just hit like last couple weeks at 192, I think. Yep. Okay, so and then I marked this one off because it looks like we have support here, and then all through here it was support. So that's going to be the new resistance. I mean, it's off a little bit. It's around 306. So we're not too far away, but we're still not there yet. So let's zoom in to the 4 hour. This is what it looks like on the 4 hour. I believe I switched to Heikinashis for this one. So you can see where we hit the bottom here at 192, and now we're on our way back up. So,
Got a cup and handle forming there.
yep, I was going to say, looks like
Yeah.
here, and then this could be
And
the handle.
it's breaking out over that 200 like perfect. It's got
It's
every
trying,
MO coming up, right?
yeah. So it looks like a lot of the movement happened during pre-market, which is not uncommon. Let's see what the 1 hour. 1 hour looks good. Yeah. So look, a lot of this happened during pre-market. So this one likes to move a lot during the pre-market hours. It did this Tuesday as well, right here, and then throughout the day.
I can't
So
find any reason for that big fall.
yeah, that was. Let me see. Let's see
20,
the
22nd, 23rd.
so yeah, around the 22nd. Let me switch back here. So around the 22nd, they had an earnings report. Even though it was favorable, they might have, or it was like basically right at what they believed it was going to be. They might have announced something that wasn't favorable. I don't,
Right,
obviously, I
right,
don't know what that was,
right. They
but
could have had bad projections.
yeah, so it coincided with that day, the
Gotcha.
22nd.
Very
So
good.
it must have been that. Yeah. So yeah, back to this. Looks like we're right above that 9, riding this out. We dipped down a little bit and kept going. I would say if we can make it to 306, we're probably going to hit there and come back down to one of these if we
I
can
think,
make it.
I
And
think we
then
need to expect to dip back down to the 20. We got to
it
expect
could.
that. Yeah, just
Yeah,
like she
here.
did before. Yeah, she's got to come
Hmm.
back down to that so that she can get another kangaroo bounce. She can
Yeah.
only get so high.
I would really like it to get above this so we can, because this got a lot of room to the upside. I mean, it just recently hit its low and has been climbing. There's a lot more room to the upside after this, after 306, in my opinion. Oh,
Well,
15
yeah,
minutes, you can see
considering where it
that.
was at when we looked at it last.
Yeah, we looked at it last back in December. It's been a while.
Yeah, and she's fallen a lot.
A lot, yeah. Several different drops. But its last earnings before that, before the one that had the big drop, that's the one that brought it all the way up to $5.80. See
Right,
right
bounce.
here? But that was a good surprise. See, that was this day.
It
That was
was
this day
quick too.
here
And
back
see,
in
that's
May.
a great example of why you want to get in and out because things only happen for a day in many cases. It goes up and the very next day it comes down. So you
Yeah.
might as well take the gains that day. If it's going to give them to you, take them. You can do it again tomorrow. And if it's not in a good mood, find someone who is.
Yeah. So, I mean, it has dropped quite a bit. I mean, there for a while we were way up
What
here
was
in
it up
between.
there?
Yeah, we were right over here when we last looked at it. In between
565?
like 4 we were in between like 435 and $5, give or
Right.
take, right around here. And then we dipped down and hit this support, which is uh
Pretty strong.
verified here. and we went all the way up to 580, and then we've just been following ever since
Yeah, we
until
get
we
over
hit
that next support, we could get a nice strong push.
that would be here, yeah, around
Yeah.
306. So there's a lot of room to run. You can see that on this chart, especially.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and a lot of volume today. Ton of volume.
Yeah, yeah,
Ton
a lot of
of
volume.
volume. And that
63 million.
yeah, that right there is the catch-all right there. When you see a long line at a theater, must be a good movie, must be something. So I'm looking at that thinking, well, that deserves to be on my watch list just because there's so much volume. If this launched tomorrow and got up to Taylor's resistance there, this could be one of the stocks we talk about.
Yeah.
That's all we're looking for is setups. We
Yeah, I'm
see
probably
these
gonna keep
jumps
an
all
eye
the
on this
time. You
one.
just got to be there in time.
Yeah, I like this one a lot, actually.
Nice,
Keep an eye
nice.
on that one.
You're right. We need some more twigs, Velmore, Mark. Okay, we did good on that one. That's a good one. Had me bouncing around there. Oh, man. Who's that? Oh, that's Jack. You guys don't know Jack. You don't know Jack. Let's see here. I think we might call it a day. Danny Whiter wants to look at VHAI. I think Belmore just told me we looked at VHAI last week, I think. I think she did.
We did look at it recently, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Porterhouse, you stuck around the whole time, even after coming into the wrong one. I love you, dude. If you find a comfortable seat, why leave? Who cares if it's the right place or not? At least you're comfortable. Travis, where you been, buddy? We haven't
Uh,
seen you in a long time. I've been looking for all you guys, and you think I forget you, but I don't. I just remember you when you come back. Well, folks, I think we're going to call that. It was a bit messy today. That's because we only had two stocks, and I'm not used to doing DD live. We used to do it that way a long time ago. Boy, that must have been messy. Then we started doing pre-DD, and Taylor got in here and was hitting all the buttons for me, and I was on easy street. And now I'm hitting the buttons and doing live, and Taylor's not going to be here next week. I'm worried. Should be fun. Maybe I'll have some pop-in guests, somebody who can just come in and chart one stock and then someone else come in and chart another stock. Because the way I feel, you need to see as many different charters as you can. Charting is the essence of trading. And one person is just one style. Everybody has got a different style. And you can learn something from every single person's style and add it to your arsenal. And before you know it, charts to you are like reading a book. You understand it when you look at it. You see what they see. Right now, you look at it, it looks like a bowl of spaghetti. We want to see a plate of cookies. You know, you want to have it all organized. And these guys do that for us. So hopefully, maybe I can talk them into coming on over and dropping in, doing guest appearances. Wouldn't that be cool? We will be back. I will be back next week, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. Give me your tickers early, folks, so I can get the DD done early. It will make my job easier. I have it all set up. I can dive deeper, bring you more information, maybe surprise you and me at the same time. We are looking for stocks with volume. We're looking for charts that are set up. News that titillates. Yeah, I want to have drool in the corner of my mouth when I see the ticker. You can do that for me, please. I try to do it for you all the time. It's fun to tantalize people. We'll see you next week, folks. Thanks for bearing with us today. Hope you got something out of this. That is why we do it. And I will be at Penny Boys tomorrow. Once I leave Twitter at 9:30, folks, I am over there. We're pulling up the charts, throwing up the pictures, showing you what we're doing. You can ask us to bring up something. I'm there to help. Come on and trade with the wizard. I'd love to trade with you. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was long.